Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I have already prepared my client's hair for her sew-in. It has already been shampooed and conditioned. I also dyed her leave out and her edges. As you can see, it is black because the hair that she is putting in is going to be black. And as you can see, the rest of her hair is not. And as far as parting your client's hair, for her leave out, you're going to part it wherever she's going to be wearing her part at. And then you're going to take out enough hair on each side of the part to cover the track. And how I determine how much hair she needs to cover the track is I put a colored comb underneath that side of the hair. And if I can see the comb through the hair, then it's not enough hair. As you can see, I'm demonstrating there. I am taking my client's edges out because she requested me to. I almost always take the edges out on a traditional sew-in anyway because you want the front hairline to be even. Because if the middle of her hairline right there at the front, if it was further back than her edges and I didn't leave her edges out, she would have a braid there with tracks on it, and then that leave out would not be able to cover it. So always make sure that you even the hairline out. And I'm going to go ahead and braid it down so that everything is out of the way when it's time for me to do her braid down. And by the way, y'all, I am 7 months pregnant, so excuse the extra chunkiness you see going on. And right here I'm just showing you the hair that I use for my braid down. It is just regular Kanekalon hair, and I only use braiding hair on the perimeter of the hair and on the ankle braids. The ankle braids are the braids that are around the leave out. And I only use the braiding hair for these braids around the leave out and the perimeter of her head is because you need those braids to be sturdy. If the rest of her hair was thin, then I would use it throughout, but she has pretty thick hair, so it's no need. And just so you know, the pack of braiding hair was cut in half. It's no need to have long braiding hair just to do a braid down. Alright, and as you can see right here, the top braids I did first around the leave out, and then I did the braids on the side second. And the rest of the braid down, you're just going to do a beehive starting with one of the ankle braids. I'm going to start with that one right there and just do a beehive all the way around. And like I said, I'm using braiding hair going around the perimeter of her head. So as you can see, the braiding hair is going to be in this braid. And as you start to get to the front of her head, make sure that you bring those ankle braids out on the side through the braid. And you will see in a minute exactly what I'm talking about. That's what I mean about pulling the braid through. Now you just have to sew that braid down, and you do that by just tucking it in between the cornrows and stitching it down. If you don't know how to do stitches, there are a lot of videos on how to do so. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do our first track. The only thing about the first track is you want to make sure that you get the track underneath the braid. And first things first, I'm going to go ahead and hook my thread to the cornrow. And with the first track, you want to make sure that you go through the weft. Anytime I'm on the perimeter of the head, I go through the weft anyway. I do not go through the weft throughout the head, just when I'm on the perimeter. And of course, you always start your tracks off by doing a knot. You start your tracks off and end them by doing a knot. And you start your thread off and end your thread by doing a knot. And as you can see, I'm flipping my tracks. And when I flip my track, I do put the needle through the weft just so that it's secure and it's as flat as I can make it. And as you can see, I'm towards the top of her head. Once I get closer to the top of her head, I do not flip my tracks anymore. Well, depending on the hair, if the weft is giving me a hard time, I don't flip them anymore. And in this case, I'm not going to flip them. I'm going to cut it when I get to the end. And you will see how I cut it. And when I cut it, I don't cut my thread. I continue with the thread. And as you can see, by her eye, usually when I get to the top of the eye or to the bottom of the eye is when I decide to start cutting my track, because I want it to lay as flat as possible when I get closer to her leave out. And as I said previously, I am ending the track by cutting it, but I'm not ending the thread. I'm going to keep the thread going, and I'm just going to start with the new track. And as you can see, I'm almost finished. I have 2 tracks left. One of the tracks are going to go underneath the ankle braid, as you can see. And then the next track is going to go on top of the ankle braid. That's the first one underneath. And you'll see how the top one lays. And once you put that last track on the top of the ankle braid, you can see that it's really close to the leave out. That's exactly how you want it to be. Alright, now it's time for me to blend her leave out. I'm just showing you the product that I use, which is the Renutrients Slick Stick. And less is more with this product. I just use a little bit on the roots of the hair and at the end of the hair, because those are usually the toughest parts to blend, especially with natural hair. And since she has body wave hair, I am going to move my flat irons in the up and down movement to mimic the wave. As you will see in a minute, you want to mimic whatever hair that they have in. And I did put product on her leave out, it just wasn't recorded. Alright, and there you have it. And by the way, my client didn't want any of the fancy edges we do nowadays. She's a simple girl, so that's all she wanted, just for them to be slicked back. And you see how it's nice and flat? Very simple. She didn't want any styling either. She likes to wear the wave that is in the hair. Alright, thank you for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe and like. And I'll see you in my next video.